back to another FPFR. I am your charming and witty host. First thing I wanted to talk about was the start of the season. We play against the Oilers tonight at 8.
Yeah, that's kind of a downer, isn't it? We start the season on the road.
Next thing I want to talk about was the transactions of this last, I guess, week or so. I'm going out of order as far as time's sakes go. So the first one I want to talk about was the Peters-Hordichuk trade. Both of them tough guys, both of them almost exact career numbers, both of them the same age. The difference is Hordichuk is getting paid about $300,000 more, and that's it. Vancouver traded him to us just to cut some of their cap space. The next one I want to talk about was Grabner. We put him on waivers, and he was picked up by the New York Islanders. What this means is that we traded Ballard and Oreskovich for Steve Bernier.
That's not right! Not a fair trade!
Now, of course, the original trade with Bernier and Grabner, that's a fair trade.
With the fact that we put him on waivers and he was taken by the Islanders? What happened? What went wrong here? He must have really, really sucked.
I'm infuriated. I am completely and totally infuriated. But, in my anger, I have found salvation. In the last trade I will talk about. In fact, the last trade before the season starts. Some of you may recall in my last video, I seemed a little, what's the correct term here, distraught, upset, bewildered, perhaps? In layman's terms,
I was pissed off that we signed Nathan Pesh. Nathan Pesh.
why? What for?
Did we think he was going to make our team? Was he going to replace the likes of Kulikov, McCabe, Garrison, Allen, Weidman? At the time we hadn't signed Weaver, but nonetheless. Or was he even going to be better than Goodbronson, who I will talk about later? Pesh has got to be one of the worst signings I've ever seen.
I just depressed myself. But, like I said before, I found salvation. And I found the age-old question as to why we signed him in the offseason. The reason why we signed him was so we could trade him to Vancouver, who I can see that we're making quite a good relationship with them. Dating back to a whole Pavel Bure trade for Ed Jovo, and then the Roberto Luongo trade. We have quite a relationship with them. I like the Canucks. In fact, I actually own a Canucks jersey. That's kind of ironic. So, now that I'm done talking about the transactions, I guess I'll talk about my impressions over the preseason. First off, I think Rostislavl is just going to have a good year. If nothing else, he's going to have a better year. It's not like he could have a worse year. My reason for saying that is in training camp, Stephen Weiss got into a fight with Rostislavl on purpose, it seems, in order to light a fire under his ass. And Olesh kicked butt that day. So, it is my belief that Rusty Olesh can finally start becoming more like the player we expect him to be, as long as Stephen Weiss keeps on trying to throw punches at him. That's the trick here. The next person I want to talk about was Booth. Now, I think he played like 4 games and he had 4 goals. He was averaging a goal a game. Now, I know it's only preseason and that doesn't really mean a whole lot, but he was averaging a goal a game. That's still pretty damn impressive if you ask me. So, as long as he stays healthy, he could be that 30 or 40 goal scorer. And next, and lastly, I will talk about our rookies, our top prospects, Markstrom and Goodbronson. Throughout the whole preseason, Markstrom looked like he was a little shaky at times. And other times, he looked like an all-star goalie. What? Bam! So I think this starting year for him in Rochester is going to do him some good. He'll get accustomed to the American style of play and our lack of talent on this team. Eric Bronson. Done. That's it. You don't need to say anything else. He was fantastic. That's it. I can't think of another word for him. If I say anything more about him, this video will last for hours. And honestly, I don't have that kind of time, and I don't think YouTube allows freaking 400-hour long videos. So I'll just leave it with fantastic and move on. The reason why we didn't sign him wasn't that we weren't giving him enough money up front. It's that we weren't giving enough money for performance bonuses. What? Performance bonuses? I understand the concept of performance bonuses. That's not what I'm upset about. But I'm a little curious as to what we were offering and why. My reason for asking this is that, well, let's say he performs to the level we want him to be. Let's just say, for instance, 15 goals. And we pay him the money we originally signed him for. Well, doesn't that make our team better and therefore make sense to give him that extra pay raise? Or, on the other hand, he's lower in performance. Instead of 15, he has 2. Then we don't pay him, and everything stays the same. I don't understand this whole performance bonuses misunderstanding we had. But that being said, it is my personal belief that this could have been, not definitely was, but could have been a scapegoat for not signing him this season because essentially we're going to suck. In the ESPN Power Rankings, we are picked to finish dead last. Dead last. A year in Kingston might boost his confidence, while a year here might shatter his morale. And that's it. See you after the game.